Everyone, Heather here from Real Travel Experts. Welcome to this week's show. We hope you're all keeping safe and healthy. On this week's show, we'll be speaking with Annmarie Gaudet from Cruise Holidays Select. Have you ever wanted to see the pyramids? Well, this week's show is for you. Annmarie will be talking about escorted cruises, and she'll be talking about an escorted cruise she has coming up down the Nile. Stay tuned for that. Ken will be speaking with her. Also, we'll be checking in with Deborah for this week's travel news, and I'll be back a little bit later with your fun travel fact for the week. Okay.
And here with the travel news is my co-host Deb. Hi, Deb. What's going on in world travel today?
Hi, Ken. There's quite a few things going on in travel today. A lot of it has to do, of course, with COVID. United States has issued a warning that it's against 80% of the countries against travel. So they haven't specified as yet which countries that they're going to warn people not to travel to, but it's going to be coming out sometime this week.
Okay.
And there's a couple of places actually in the United States you can go as a tourist to get your vaccine if you're interested. Alaska is going to be offering COVID vaccines in June to visitors to that state. And the U.S. Virgin Islands will also be offering any visitors their COVID vaccine. So
vaccine tourism.
Just an added incentive to get people to go.
Vaccine tourism. Wow.
They're trying to say it's not that. But anyway, Seabourn is going to be starting cruising out of Barbados as of this July. And we have Sandals down in the Caribbean as well, down in Jamaica. They're going to be opening 3 new resorts. So that's good news. And Viking it has already opened up its 2024 Mississippi cruises. And they're going to have a brand new ship, aptly named the Viking Mississippi. And it's going to be debuting next year. And it's going to be a really nice, large one. And so if people want to cruise the Mississippi, they have that to look forward. But I will warn you that a lot of their sailings right through 2023 are already sold out. And that's why they're booking 2024 now.
Yeah. So. Well, there's so much pent-up demand.
Yes, exactly.
People are just going to be going crazy.
Yeah.
And yet another with Seabourn, that's yet another cruise line that's can't wait, and they're operating out of the Caribbean, home porting in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
All of that is really good news. And in terms of vaccines, the more places people can get vaccinated, the better.
Yes, that's true. And a lot of places, it's funny because Puerto Rico will now fine you if you go there without a negative COVID test.
Right.
So.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, we'll check back with you later in the show for maybe the odd offer. And
Sure.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye. Today, I'm welcoming to the show Annmarie Gaudet of Cruise Holidays Select. Annmarie is an experienced travel advisor with over 20 years experience in the industry, specializing in cruises and cruise vacations. Hi, Annmarie. Welcome to RTE Travel Talk.
Hi, Ken. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, great. Good to see you. So listen, just before we get started on our topic of escorted cruises, did I miss anything? Tell me a little bit more about yourself and your business.
Okay, yes. This July, I will be celebrating 23 years in business. I was a stay-at-home mom for over 10 years. And when my youngest started school, I decided I didn't want a job. I wanted a career, and I wanted a career that I loved. And I've been traveling since I was 5. So I decided I wanted to get into traveling. I went to college, took college courses, became a travel counselor, got a job in a full-service travel agency, which I loved. And while I was there, I noticed that cruising was becoming really popular. So in our area, there was no cruise focused agencies, and being a Sagittarius, I wanted to be my own boss. So I decided to combine the two and open up my own cruise focused travel agency, and I have not looked back. I've loved, I mean, you know, with life, ups and downs, but I've loved every minute of it, and still going strong.
Well, that's fantastic. So today we're talking about escorted cruises, Annmarie, and a lot of our listeners out there probably don't really understand what that is. So, you know, can you tell us a little bit about escorted cruises and just what's involved in it?
I certainly can. There's a couple of different ways of escorted cruises. One of them is where you're kind of held by the hand. All your excursions are included. You all go together, and you take the excursions together, and there's somebody there kind of holding your hand.
Right.
Other escorted cruises are, I've done a workplace one where and it was an industry one. There was over 200 people, and that was more, everybody kind of did their own thing, but while on board they wanted they had to have meetings and things like that, so I set up all their meeting space. The groups that I escort are more laid back. So not everybody knows each other. They're just joining to come along with me. I'm there to help look after you. I do put shore excursions aside, but if you don't want to take them, you don't have to. It's your vacation. I'm there to try and enhance your vacation. But if you want to just come along and then do your own thing, that's fine with me. Usually what I'll do is I will say, okay, I'm going to be here at the bar at 6 o'clock, so-and-so, if you want to come and join us for a drink. And so it is escorted. I'm there to help you if there's any issues at all, but it's still your vacation, and you can be involved in it as much as you want or as little as you want.
Right. So really, you're kind of like the escort is kind of like a security blanket.
Yes. Yeah.
You're there. Yeah. You're there to answer questions, help out, and provide advice if needed.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So, like I said, there are, depending on which type of cruise I'm escorting, there might be shore excursions, private shore excursions just for my group that I put aside. But once again, if you don't want to participate and buy that shore excursion, there's no pressure whatsoever. I've had amazing groups where like in Turkey, where our private group was at a carpet school, and the owner of the carpet school laid out a lunch on his front lawn, and there was just the 16 of us, and it was an amazing experience. That being said, there were still 4 people in the group that decided not to come along with us, and that was fine too. So I always keep in mind that it's your vacation, not my vacation.
So over the years, how many cruises, how many escorted vacations would you have planned?
Well, I've been on, oh my gosh, I should count it one day, but it's well and truly over 100 cruises. Escorted, well, I escort on generally two groups a year. Mm-hmm. So probably about 40 groups. Of course, 2020 and 2021 are putting a little, crunch in things, but that just means that next year I'm already escorting 4 next year. So we're trying to make up for lost time.
So what advantages does escorted cruising have for the traveler?
There's several. Lots of times the price advantage. With river cruising, if there's not a price advantage, there's some sort of amenity advantage. So the South of France group that I'm escorting, that was supposed to go in 2020, where everybody's getting their prepaid gratuities for free. So generally the big ships, like I do a lot of celebrity cruises groups, and in some cases, like my pricing is like $1,000 less. Sometimes it's only 100 or 150, but sometimes it's like 1,000, 1,500. So big price advantages.
So it's really, really great value to be found there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I've noticed, when we've traveled with groups, and I don't know whether you would agree with me, but and it depends, and it really depends on the group on a particular cruise, but sometimes there can be a tremendous amount of camaraderie and lifetime friends and acquaintances you make just from this group.
Absolutely. I escorted a group on the Celebrity Edge in 2019. There was about 24 of us, and there were 3 couples. Never knew each other, had never met before. I knew them all, but they were from different, one worked with my husband, one I know from a group I belong to, another one I just know as a friend. And they have become such good friends that they now travel together all the time, and they actually have Zoom get-togethers every Friday night. So they honestly are like best friends now. So it absolutely does happen for sure.
So tell me, you mentioned that you're escorting 4 groups next year?
Yes, 4 groups.
Oh, you're gonna be busy. I don't know how you get it all in.
I know. But I don't want it when I put my escorted groups together. I put it on obviously something I'm excited about. I always do a Caribbean cruise in January or February because as Canadians, and North American people we need to get away in the winter. So I have a 12-night cruise I believe it's January 30th, doing the Caribbean on Celebrity. And so far, I have 24 people booked on that. Then in April, the beginning of April, I have a wine river cruise down the Danube. And it's even if you're not a wine enthusiast, it's still a great cruise. The Danube is amazing, and I have some really good prices on that, some savings on that. And then I had a group put together to do the south of France. We were supposed to do it in April 2020, and obviously it didn't happen. And then it got moved to September, and that didn't happen. So now we are going April next year. So I'm literally getting off the Danube and flying over to Marseille and getting on the river cruise to do the south of France. It's going to be an amazing river cruise. Once again, this one isn't wine focused, but of course you are in the wine region of the south of France. So great wine. One of the tours is going to Chateau Neuf de Pape. But if you're not a wine drinker, I mean, there's so much history there. There's so much if you're a foodie, the food, because we do go to Lyon, France, which is like the food capital of the world. So that's great. And then my trip of a lifetime is Egypt and the Nile in September 2021. And the cruise lines hadn't gone to Egypt for a while because of the troubles there, but now they've started going back. And the reason I picked the cruise I did was because it's actually 7 nights on the Nile. Most of them are only 3 or 4 nights, and I wanted 7 nights. So we have some time in Cairo. Actually, there's an add-on to go to Jordan beforehand. If I've always wanted to see Petra, and the Dead Sea, so we're doing that. But people don't have to do that if they don't want to. Sorry, my hair's getting in my eyes. But we have 2 nights in Cairo beforehand, then a 7-night cruise, and then back to Cairo for another night afterwards. So they're the ones that I'm escorting next year. In 2022, I'm waiting for 2023, I'm waiting for the summer to come out because I'm going to be escorting a Europe that has Istanbul, because Istanbul is top of my list. So my future cruises, that's what I'm looking forward to Istanbul and also the Norwegian fjords. So I'm just waiting for them to come out for 2023. This is what I do, and this is why my pricing is so good, because as soon as the cruise lines offer that space, I grab it, and so our price is locked in. So it normally 99.9% of the time the prices go up, my prices are locked in. But the one good thing about cruising is if the price drops, we're still going to get the lower price. So it doesn't happen very often, but it's good to know that you're not going to be paying more.
Is there anything else you'd like to add, Annmarie?
I think that the way I do it, after all my years of experience, I do also escort. I have escorted a seniors group a couple of years, well, a long time ago now, 20 years ago now, but it was a condominium around just near my agency, and they all wanted to do Alaska. But because they were seniors, they kind of just wanted somebody to come along and hold their hand and be there for them. So sometimes groups that know each other already come to me, and they just want me to put something together for them and come along just so I'm there. So I can do anything. And even, like I said, even if it's a group I've put together, but you want to do something extra on your own. For instance, the south of France, if people want to fly into Barcelona and then take the train up to Marseille and get on the boat, or stay in Paris afterwards and then go to London, I can do all of that. So just because I have a group, that's kind of just the platform.
Right.
If you want me to do anything else on top of that, I certainly can do it.
Where can we find you?
You can email me at Annmarie at lovetocruise.ca. I'm sure the info is all there. You can give me a call. We can set up a Zoom meeting. I'm finding, because of COVID nowadays, of course, we can't meet in person. So if you don't want to talk to me on the phone, you want to see me talking, Zoom works perfectly too. So there's lots of ways to contact me, and I'm happy to do whatever works for my clients.
This is absolutely great. Look forward to seeing more of you in the future, and good luck with your escorted cruises this year and next.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Thanks for inviting me.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now we're back with Deb to talk about some of the really great offers that Annmarie mentioned during her interview. Hi, Deb. What do we got?
Well, Annmarie has a lot of really great specials on particular cruises and on her escorted cruises, so it's hard to choose between them. The first one I'd like to mention is one on Celebrity Reflection, one of our favorite ships. And it's sailing in February of 2022. And it's going to Mexico and Jamaica and Grand Cayman.
Lovely.
And she has a great price on this. You can save over $1,000 a couple, and that's on an unobstructed balcony.
Fantastic.
So it's a decent stateroom too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with this, she's got $50 onboard credit. So you've got that extra money to spend on board, and of course it has the Celebrity always included the beverage package, the free Wi-Fi, and the prepaid gratuities. So all in all, it's a great winter escape.
It's not totally all inclusive, but it's getting close to an all inclusive cruise.
Very close, very close. It just depends on what you want on your cruise. You could certainly go and have a good time and not put your hand in your pocket at all.
Yeah, and as she mentioned, Canadians love to get away in the winter.
Exactly. The other one that, and I think she mentioned this when talking to you, was her escorted Egyptian cruise. It's a river cruise.
Yep.
It's 11 nights, and there's 3 nights in Cairo pre-cruise, and it's a 7-night Nile cruise, and there's a night also in Cairo at the end. And if you want to, there's also land extensions, and out of the 2 or 3 land extensions you can choose from, she is actually escorting as well the one to Petra in Jordan. Okay. Yeah, so you've got like an extra 4, I believe it's a 4-night visit to Jordan. And it's aboard the AmaDahlia, which is one of AmaWaterways ships.
Right.
And it's going in September 2022.
Yeah, well, it certainly sounds like a bucket list vacation.
It is a bucket list vacation, and it's one of the places that I've always wanted to visit.
Well, maybe we'll just have to go. What do you think?
I'm thinking so.
All right. Well, that's great. And we look forward to seeing you next week with more featured vacations.
See you then.
All right, take care. And back with our fun travel fact for the week is my co-host Heather. Hi, Heather. What's going on in the world of travel today? What fun fact do you have for me?
Hi. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Machu Picchu today.
Oh, wow. I've never been.
No, me neither. Again, a bucket list trip.
Exactly. Exactly.
So Machu Picchu is located in Peru.
Right.
It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it's also one of the 7 wonders of the world.
I did not know that.
It is, yes. And the reason for that is, well, it was they believe that it was built in between the 15th, 16th century. So that's quite a while ago now. It was a palace for an emperor. And obviously they didn't have the technology that we have today. And the whole thing was built without mortar, without, these, tools that we have today. And Machu Picchu was huge.
Right.
And the foundation is so strong that it can actually withstand, I should say, earthquakes.
Amazing.
It is. It's amazing.
Yeah. So.
And it's a mystery how they did this too, right? Not having the technology.
Exactly. And is it not one of the places that you see on like these places called Ancient Aliens, where they're trying to say that that's, well, maybe this is done by aliens?
I was going to say that. I mean, the only logical explanation would be aliens, right?
I'd kind of like to go there just to either confirm or debunk that.
Right? Yeah. 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 So you can go to Machu Picchu right now.
Right.
But they have put in some restrictions as far as the number of visitors on site. So right now it's 75 visitors per hour.
I see. Okay.
I don't know what the number is usually in non-COVID times, but it is decreased. So it's 75 an hour, and you can actually get your passport stamped at Machu Picchu.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. And 75 that's not such a bad thing, really.
No.
Less crowded.
Yes, exactly. I mean, the place is massive anyway.
Yeah.
But it would be kind of nice just to, not be so crowded and have so many people around you when you go to those
I get you.
impressive, mythical, Yeah.
Well, that's really, really interesting. I can't wait to see what you have for me next week.
All right. And if anyone who's been to Machu Picchu or have any questions or any stories, anything like that, leave them in the comments for us. I'd love to hear about anyone's Machu Picchu experiences.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Thanks, Heather.
Okay. See you next week.
See ya. And that about wraps things up for this episode, folks. Thanks very much for sticking with us today. On behalf of myself and my co-hosts, Deborah and Heather, we're looking forward to seeing you each and every week. If you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you. You can just leave us a comment below or email any questions you might have about an upcoming show or something you'd like to know about at questions@realtravelexperts.com. That's questions@realtravelexperts.com. So until next week, happy travels.